Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the May 6th City Council meeting of 2013. Mayor-elect Motley, if we could have the roll call, please.
Present.
Present.
Alderman Newsom.
Present.
Alderman Kempat.
Present.
Alderman May. Present. Alderman Valco. Present. Alderman Rivera.
Present.
Alderman Cunningham. Present. Alderman Connell.
Present.
We have a quorum. Please rise. Moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This is going to go quick, so don't blink. Here we go. Well, Wayne, I just want to say, as a friend, and the person that you're replacing, congratulations.
Thank you,
You
Mayor.
deserve the
Thank
win.
you.
You worked hard, and I know that you love the city of Waukegan, and it's going to move forward. So
Thank you, Mayor.
I'm
Thank you.
happy to have you replacing me. I want to thank the voters of Waukegan. I want to thank the voters of Waukegan for giving me the chance to serve for 4 years. It was tough, but I think we made a difference. I think Waukegan is better than when we found it, so I'm very proud of that. I want to thank all the people that work for the city of Waukegan and all the staff, department heads. You guys, you really worked your rear ends off. It was a tough 4 years, but you managed to get through, and you made sure that Waukegan got through the tough times as well. Lastly, I want to thank my wife for making sure that I didn't fly off the handle too often, and it was an honor to serve. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I will take my leave. Alderman Larry Tempest will now assume the position of Mayor Pro Tem. And again, Wayne, I'm just so happy that you won, that you're here, and congratulations.
I would entertain a motion to seat Larry Tempest as Chairman Pro Tem.
So
moved. Motion made by Cunningham, seconded by
Second.
Conken. All's in favor?
Aye.
Larry?
Thank you all. We should have the full house every council meeting. But you do have a good council here, and I was very pleased to hear the comments of Mayor Sabanjan. It's nice in a democracy that we can change leadership in a very good way. And I do wish Mayor-elect Motley the very, very best. This evening, we first motion, audience time. We're going to have audience time. Do we have a sheet, a sign-up sheet?
Right there it is.
Okay. And while I'm Mayor Pro Tem, we rotate it every, I just happen to be here tonight. And last week it was her, and next time it'll go on to Lisa, and we rotate it so everybody has equal opportunity to serve. And I started that years ago. Robert Patricia Martinez, is he here to speak? Please come up, give your name and address, and speak in the mic, and try to stay nice and close so we can hear you. You're still clear. I'm still doing it.
Good evening. My name is Patricia Martinez. I am part of La Campeona Group, the Latino radio station with its call letters and frequency WPJX AM 1500. Our main studios are located in Northbrook. However, several months ago, the decision was made to establish our main office in studios in the city of Waukegan, located at 1220 Grand Avenue. All due to the great need of our clients, the organizations, public officials, and most of all, our community. That every day demanded our presence closer to them. That has allowed us to integrate with our community's problems, uncertainties, necessities, but most of all, their longing to achieve prosperity in conjunction with the current public officials, since we represent 70% of the current populace. La Campeona Group has been the only radio station that has become involved 100% in the daily occurrences, directly or indirectly, with its residents of Lake County, specifically with the city of Waukegan. We have interviewed most of the politicians and candidates who have attempted to achieve a popular election, just like the total coverage in every electoral process, starting with primaries and general elections, as well, in the most impartial way that few media offers its audience, winning the respect of politicians, candidates, organizations, but most of all, our community. With this mechanism, the Latino community of Lake County has found in La Campeona Group the only space that has ever existed in all of the history of Waukegan, where its expression, its feelings, but mostly its voice is heard and considered. In addition to the availability of our new mayor, Mr. Wayne Motley, it will be the perfect vehicle to unite the city and the authorities in order to realize an efficient union, because Waukegan is everyone. Every resident of Waukegan, regardless of its ethnic group, can find in La Campeona Group the space so that their voice can be heard, since we are the only Spanish radio station that its mission is to be part of this community. That is why we are called the only community radio station in the state of Illinois, and the voice of our city, our people, our officials, and most of all, its projections, the prosperity of a city with integration of all its elements, because Waukegan is everyone. Thank you.
Paul Ventura? Paul Ventura? Raw Ventura? No? Julia Garcia? Julia? Hold it up. Got it? Julia, give your name and address, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Julia Garcia. I lived at 952 Westmoreland Avenue. I don't know if Mr. Mayor reminds me, I used to work for you. Mr. Tempest used to be my driver's ed teacher, and Mr. Greg Mosho is currently now my alderman. I would like to express this to the City of Waukegan Mayor, which is Mr. Motley, the City of Waukegan councilmen and women, and I would like to speak to you about the community liaison position. As an aggrieved citizen, I stand before you today and read this grievance on record during this May 6, 2013 Waukegan City Council. I bring to the special attention of the Councilman Tempest, which is my family's council member, and Mr. Greg Mosho, who is my current council, and Mayor Motley. As a registered voters, we here hereby and hold you accountable for the violations of policy and procedure, discrimination, and violations for which your actions have conducted, driven for our community liaison, Ms. Susana Figueroa. She has held this position for over 18 years, and she has helped many of our families. I feel that you have specifically targeted Mrs. Figueroa, who is a Latin American citizen, for exercising her constitutional right to participate in an electoral process, and hence discriminating upon her, eliminating her position. We, the citizens of Waukegan, request that Mrs. Figueroa would be allowed to remain in her position as the community liaison. We petition you today with this grievance to give you, as our elected officials, the opportunity to allow Mrs. Figueroa to remain in an ethical manner as a community liaison for the city of Waukegan. And for the record, once again, my name is Julia Garcia, and I live at 952 Westmoreland Avenue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you received any violations yet driving? I haven't. Oh, wonderful. You made my day. I'd like to answer that somewhat. We usually don't, but Susan Figueroa they tried to remove her from the ballot on a trumped-up charge. I'm on the electoral board, and we voted to keep her on the ballot, and I wish her the very best. However, I was committed to another candidate. For years, we made that position years ago when we had a discrimination suit with the feds. And for many years, I've been looking forward to eliminating that position, not her, but the position. And we're going to be able to hire at least one more cop, get on the streets, which we really need now. I think our community is pretty well integrated as far as getting along. I think we're doing very, very well. I think it's only fair that Mayor-elect Motley comment at this time.
The issue with Susan Figueroa has nothing to do with race, creed, or color. I committed to the Waukegan Police Department when I first ran for mayor that I would hire more policemen. I intend to hire 4 to 5 police officers. Her position was no longer necessary. In her stead, I've chosen to hire another police officer. It has nothing with race, religion. It is a matter of practicality. I came from that environment. That's my life. Although I retired 12 years ago, I will always be a policeman. And those of you who don't know what it's like to be alone at night at 2 o'clock in the morning calling for cover and no one's coming, then you'll understand why we're hiring another policeman. Thank you.
Amando? Rena? That's it? Thank you. Give your name and address so the clerk can pick it up, please. And try to keep your comments to 3 minutes. Thank you.
Well, I don't talk. I'm trying to see I can do better in English because I'm not so good. But I know I talked to Mr. Marley before, and because many of my people are always afraid to come in here because many we don't understand so much about in English, and also we ask and see, is there any way you can get like a special, microphone, something, so somebody can translate it over those meetings, because sometimes my people is not show up, and people, it's because they don't speak that much English, they don't understand. I do my best because I got for many years in here in Waukegan. But even my name is Armando Peña, I live at 780 in Poplar, and also I'm represent as an ethnic group, and we call Club A Paso el Alto. And we wanted to see, we just started in January. So, and we wanted to make it everything well, do the paperwork, so we can, in the future, so I can come in and whatever we can help out on the city, even asking help for the city, because we do a lot of raising funds for people sick, suffering for cancer, suffering for many stuff. My people are always suffering because the economy is so bad. But even I'm coming here to say welcome to Mr. Melly, because, you're the president, the mayor, and I like to know, we support my people, and we try to see we can do better, to try to better communication, because before, we don't know, many of my people, we don't know many positions about the city, even in the park district, so everything is new, and no, we thinking the mayor is the top position, but we got it help us to learn how to work with the city, and how can we do more better work with my people. And thank you for listening, and welcome. And like I said, I'm a president for the Club A Paseo. And
thank you for coming. Violet Richter. Violet here? Oh, there she. Talk slow now, Violet.
Good evening. My name is Violet Ricker. I live at 32 North Genesee Street, and I'm also the director of Waukegan Main Street, our downtown development nonprofit. I just wanted to give my regular update tonight about some of the exciting things that are happening in downtown Waukegan. We have some upcoming events that I'd like you guys to check out. We send out emails every 2 weeks through our calendar, or you can visit waukeganmainstreet.org or find our Facebook page. The next Art Walk event is coming up on Saturday, May 18th. We'd invite everybody to come join us in downtown Waukegan and see some of the galleries and all of the wonderful live music and beautiful new artwork that you can check out. I'd especially encourage everybody to visit the now fully occupied Karcher Art Space Lofts at 415 Washington Street. They have a beautiful new gallery there. We'd also like to invite anybody who's interested in getting involved with Waukegan Main Street and helping downtown to our next volunteer info session, which will be Wednesday, May 22nd at the Waukegan Main Street office. We're at 214 Washington Street. And all of that information is available on our website, or you can call our office at 847-623-6650. I'm also very excited for the next person that you'll be hearing from at audience time tonight. We're really excited to introduce Juan Garcia, our new administrative assistant. So with that, we'll let him come up and introduce himself.
I guess, Juan, she's already introduced you, so please come up, Juan.
They told me there was going to be only one person here today, so. My name is Juan Garcia. I live at 1740 North Macri Road. I'm very excited to be the new administrative assistant for Waukegan Main Street. I have a background in banking. I've been in retail banking for 11 years, and I left that in 2011, looking forward to the next thing I was going to do, and I think I found a home at Waukegan Main Street. One of the things that I like about Waukegan Main Street is the whole downtown economic development and revitalization. I was very surprised to see how many businesses are down there and how upscale they are as compared to what the rumors are. Sometimes don't go downtown and so on and so forth. So that's exciting. I think with all my involvement in prior chambers of commerce in Winthrop Harbor, also the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Lake County, and working in management and banking, I bring a lot of skills to Waukegan Main Street that will definitely help bring a different crowd and organize the business a little bit better. So with that being said, make sure you visit waukeganmainstreet.org. Make sure you stop by, and if you have any questions whatsoever, you can email me at juan@waukeganmainstreet.org. Thank you very much.
We're looking forward to working with you, Juan. Dave Palmer? Dave here? Dave Palmer. Try to keep your comments to 3 minutes, Dave, and give your name and address to the mic there. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Dave Palmer. I live at 432 Colville Place. I teach a United States citizenship class at the Father Gary Graff Center, and I'm very glad to have many of my students here today. I brought my students here today so that they could see you, the alderman and the mayor. They could see this city hall, and that you could see them as well, because these are the people who will be voting in the next election for alderman. They'll be voting in the next election for mayor. And so I thought this was a good opportunity to demonstrate some of the things that we talk about in our U.S. citizenship class. I want to congratulate Mr. Motley on his victory, but I would also like to draw attention to the unfortunate fact that in a city of 90,000 people, only 6,500 people showed up to vote in the last elections. So I think we need to do better than this if we want to have a government that's really legitimate, that's representative and democratic. And so that's what we're working on in trying to bring more people into the political process and encourage people to become United States citizens, but not just to become citizens, but also become informed and engaged citizens. So that's why we're here today, so that way we can see this council hall and meet our aldermen, meet our mayor, and continue to be part of this process. The issue I'd like to talk to you about today is the agenda item to amend the salary ordinance to eliminate the community liaison position. This is already been discussed, obviously, and I've heard the mayor's comments. And I think it's very unfortunate to state that this is a position that's not necessary. We live in a city, again, of 90,000 people, 60% of whom are Latino. I think the community liaison position is a very important position, and Susana Figueroa has done an excellent job in that position. I think, unfortunately, there are a lot of things in our city government that could maybe be changed or cleaned up. And I think to single out that position as one to cut, looking at all the other things that we have in our government, is very difficult to see that and not view it as whether it's just a perception or whether it's the reality. It's very difficult not to view that as a reprisal for somebody exercising their rights as a citizen. One of the things I teach my students in my class is that as a citizen, running for office is one of our rights. I think it's very important that people are able to participate in the democratic process and exercise their rights without fear of reprisals, without any kind of intimidation. And I hope that all the aldermen will take that into account as they consider this measure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Chuck Lackey? Did I pronounce that right? Lackey? Oh, I know, Chuck. You got his tax bill today, didn't you? How do you say?
Good evening, my name is Chuck Lakey. I live at 5531 Hilltop Lane in Daybreak Farms. I heard a couple of comments tonight saying Waukegan is for everyone. I do not want to be negative on such an auspicious event as this that's occurring this evening. However, after receiving my tax bill today, I am really getting frustrated. We talk about a 10% increase in Waukegan taxes for Waukegan, and it comes out to be 38%. And then the explanation is, well, we're a home rule city, so therefore we have to work on the revenue portion of it. We don't get to work on percentages. Therefore, we can work, we have to make up the revenue, and the 10% that we voted on as a council now becomes 38. I don't care what you call it. It is really hurting most of us. And I want to know when this is going to end. It seems to me, and the last speaker was up here saying that he was really proud of all the people that came out and voted. 15%? Who in Waukegan cares about what's going on when you get 1.5 people out of 100 that come out to vote? This is starting to be a little bit ridiculous, and I, again, am getting frustrated. It's caused by while it's caused by an unconcerned electorate, there still has to be some responsibility for trying to maintain a balance between taxes and what we are spending, and it's not happening. So I want to thank you very much for the time tonight, but I'm telling you, I want to congratulate everybody that's up here, and I'm really looking forward to the aldermanic elections in 2 years.
Thank you. Yes, I believe most tax bills are in the mail today, so good news and bad news. I need to have a motion to approve the minutes of April 15th, the 2013 regular meeting and executive session, and I'll take a motion by Alderman May, second by Alderman Rivera. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carry, opposed? Nope, motion carries. Okay, resolutions. And present, see, Public Service Recognition Week. Yeah, okay. Okay, motion by Alderman Cunningham, second by Alderman Conken, to receive it and place it on file. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Bike the Amstead, June 8th. Motion by Alderman Mosio, second by Alderman Rivera.
This is resolution, yeah, I'll read it. This is resolution 13R17, whereas millions of Americans engage in bicycling because it is a viable and environmental-friendly form of transportation, an excellent form of fitness, and provides quality family recreation. And whereas the City of Waukegan and the Waukegan Bike Project are planning to close the Amsterdam Expressway on Saturday, June 8, 2013, to hold the second annual Bike the Amsterdam event. Whereas the City of Waukegan and our partners are encouraging Waukegan residents and those beyond our borders to come to our community and take part in this unique opportunity. And whereas this event will require a temporary closure of the Amsterdam Expressway from Greenwood Avenue to Genesee Streets during the event. And whereas the state of Illinois requires that the City of Waukegan will assume responsibility and liability involved in closing of the Amsterdam Expressway for this purpose. Now therefore resolved that the City of Waukegan will be responsible for the direction, protection, and regulation of traffic during the time this temporary detour will be in place, and all liabilities for damages by the closure of the Amsterdam Expressway and the all-weather detours will be maintained by the City Police Department patrolled for the benefit of traffic deviated from the Amsterdam Expressway. Now therefore the resolve that Mayor Sabanjan and the members of Waukegan City Council do authorize the closure of the Amsterdam Expressway from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday, June 8th, for the setup and cleanup of the event, and also allow the public to ride their bicycles on the upsets free of automobile traffic from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Further be it resolved that an ensuing embossed copy of this resolution signed by the mayor and clerk be presented to the Illinois Department of Transportation in order to give their authorization for the closure dated the 6th day of May, 2013.
Thank you.
Is there someone to accept this, David?
Oh, that's the Bike the Amsterdam?
Really looking forward to this event. It's the second year we've done it. It's great for the family. It's a nice, healthy Saturday function. We're going to be doing a call for volunteers soon on probably Facebook, because that's how we operate right now, but and some other options. We're also doing a benefit show for the event at Water Street Gallery, a bicycle-themed art show, and that will be taking place on Art Walk. So I hope to see you all out there.
We had a motion and a second to Bike the Amsterdam June 8th to receive and place on file and receive it. So all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We made it legal now. Committee reports. Insurance Committee. Do we have anybody on the Insurance Committee? Alderman Cunningham, would you like to make a few comments? The motion is to approve the City of Waukegan Health, Dental, and Life Insurance renewals presented by Global Group for the plan year beginning June 1st, 2013. I know you made some comments in committee. You might want to repeat a few of those for the public tonight.
Yes, over the last 4 years, we have been engaged with a brokerage company that has taken us from some real bad premiums, with not many companies even wanting to go out and ask for our business. But because of the work that Barry, Tina, and the rest of the staff has been able to do over the last 4 years, we're happy to announce this current year there's going to be a savings of roughly $210,000, and that comes from reducing our claims, better processing, and overall going out to the market and find a better carrier to offer our employees and our retirees a better health insurance plan, along with life insurance and dental. So with that being said, as chairman of finance of the insurance committee, I so move that we approve the current new premium. And I do not have that number in front of me. I think you do, Mr. Chairman.
So we have a motion by Alderman Cunningham, second by Alderman May, to approve the City of Waukegan Health, Dental, and Life Insurance renewals presented by Global Group Incorporated for the plan year beginning June 1st, 2013. Mr. Clerk, Mayor-elect, please call the roll. I get to boss you for a minute.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest. Alderman Tempest.
Aye, I'm sorry.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye. Motion passed. Finance Committee report. To exercise the power granted by Section 817 of the Illinois Municipal Code to authorize the mayor or his designee to make necessary expenditures during the 2013-2014 fiscal year on the basis of the 1/4 appropriations made for the 2012-2000 fiscal year until July 31st, 2013, or until the 2013 or 2014 fiscal year appropriation order is adopted, whichever takes place first, at which time such authority shall expire automatically. Furthermore, non-essential spending is discouraged until the time the 2013-2014 appropriation ordinance is adopted, and it has to be adopted by July 31st by state law. This is the way we can continue to keep spending until we get it fine-tuned. And who's my finance chairman? Edie Newsom. Motion by Edie Newsom, second by Alderman Mosio. Let's call the roll, please.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye. Economic Development Committee report. Lease with the Friends of the Historical Genesee Theater. Lisa, you've been...
Hold it.
you've been-
No,
Mayor?
it's Alderman Rivera.
Mayor, I'd like to make a,
He's the chair.
Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a comment on that,
Yes,
if I could.
I was going to ask her to go ahead, Rob.
Okay, very well.
He's the chair.
First of all, as chairman of the Economic Development and slash Genesee Theater Committee, I'd like to commend Alderman Lisa May for really championing this lease agreement with the Friends, with Uline. And as you know, Uline in the past, a few years, Lisa? 2 years? They have been basically the economic backbone for the theater in the last couple of years. And with the leadership of Lisa May and working with Brian Schenker, Brian Schenker actually called her the conduit to all of this. So I really, on behalf of the committee, on behalf of this council, we want to congratulate Alderman May for her leadership in regards to getting this lease agreement done. Everyone here has had an opportunity to read the lease agreement. There were some good questions by the alderman, which we were able to get answered. And Lisa, this is all yours. So go ahead and
Would you
and
like
say
to
the-
comment a
and
few
do the
words,
motion
Lisa?
if you want to comment.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Thank you, Alderman Rivera. As all good things that happen in the city, there's an entire team. I can't take personal responsibility for this. But we're very excited to have an agreement with, before us with the Friends of the Genesee Theater for lease and operations of the Genesee Theater. We feel we're very grateful to our corporate partnership that has kept the theater open for the next 2 years, and we believe this will bring us into the future, and we will see our theater thrive with this new agreement. That's really all I have to say, unless someone has more comments or questions.
Well, we'd like to also, thank Ann Lynn,
Absolutely.
thank Noel as well.
Absolutely.
These people were very instrumental in our corporation council. Well, yeah, Ann Lynn for really putting this together.
Yes, Ann Lynn and Noel were in the Genesee Theater Oversight Committee. Like I said, no great thing happens with one person. There's a team behind it. So thanks to everyone who worked on this.
Thank you both for your input. We haven't voted on it yet, so the motion is to approve the lease with the Friends of the Historical Genesee Theater as presented. I take a motion by Lisa May, second by Alderman Rivera. Let's have a roll call, please.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye. Motion passed. Item B, termination of the redevelopment agreement for 2000 North County Street. I'll take a motion by Alderman Rivera, second by Alderman May, to terminate the redevelopment agreement for 200 North Genesee Street as presented. Any
200
comment?
North County. Well, I mean, real quick, so everyone, I'm quite sure everyone knows this building, which is the YMCA building. And in the past, there's an agreement that's been there since 2008 with the previous owners. Well, that obligation wasn't totally finished, but the bank took over, so therefore, we need to cancel that agreement in order for the process to continue, so they can clear the title, so the new owner that's interested in buying the YMCA will continue, the process may continue, but first and foremost, we need to cancel this agreement,
Thank you.
and I so move.
Okay, then we have a motion to terminate the redevelopment agreement for 200 North County Street. Motion made by Rivera, second by May. Roll call, please.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May. Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye. On old business, we had two appointments, which Mayor Sabancha made 30-day appointments to clean up the record book. The best thing is to, because their 30-day appointment is coming to an end, and Mayor-elect Motley needs to look at those applications and decide who he would like to be on those boards. So the appointment of Homer Viveras of the Waukegan Port Authority, I'll take a recommendation to deny the appointment as presented. And I take a motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Cunningham. I want to call the roll, please.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May. Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
The next appointment.
Alderman Tempest, we may want, this is more procedural than anything else.
procedural. Right.
To get things cleaned up.
It
It's
has to be
more-
cleaned up.
It's more procedural than
Because it was
anything
held
else.
over. But they were appointed for 30 days. and that is-
Correct.
That is coming to an end, so the mayor-elect needs to review and decide if that
Correct.
should continue. So we're
Correct.
cleaning up the minutes. Appointment of Diane Veretti to the Waukegan Port Board. I'll take a motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Moiseo, to deny. Want to call the roll, please?
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May. Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye. The next motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman May to, excuse me, I'm wrong, back up. Appoint Demare Harris to the Waukegan Housing Authority Board, and is recommended by the mayor-elect to approve that. So I'll take a motion by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman Cunningham, to approve Demare Harris to the Waukegan Housing Authority as presented. I want to call the roll, please.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May. Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye. Next motion, item D, was held over by Alderman Moiseo, and the aldermen do have the privilege of holding something over sometimes to get more information. It's a common procedure. Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman May, to grant permission to amend the Code of Ordinance for an ordinance to prohibit glass containers at the Waukegan Beach. And that motion was by Moiseo, second by May. Do we have any discussion on that? Alderman May.
I believe I believe the ordinance was amended to increase the fine per
Yes.
the alderman's, just so we
Yes.
know why it's back up for vote.
Any idea glass containers can be really?
Correct. No glass containers on the beach.
Okay. I want to call the roll, please.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May. Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye. For those of you that complain about your high taxes, the city is always trying to look for more ways to get additional revenue. When we came up, and I did research of what the other communities are charging, and we are in line. So we had a motion by Alderman May, second by Alderman Mosio, to adopt an ordinance amending Chapter 20 of the City Code of the City of Waukegan, increasing the city's hotel or motel occupancy tax. That was held over by me to get more information on what other communities were charging. Does anybody have any discussion on that? Alderman May?
I just want to restate, the reason I support this measure is because we've committed to an economic development professional in the city. If this passes, the extra revenue generated by hotel motel tax is typically not generated by the residents of Waukegan. It's by the people that visit Waukegan. We feel that it's going to be minimal to them, but it's going to be beneficial to us so that we can actually have an economic development professional in the building working towards those needs that our city has for economic development. So I just want to state that. Thank you.
Alderman?
I have a different point of view. I'd like to discuss this further. I think hotel rates are very sensitive. Quite often, someone will, to save $5, will drive a few miles to another community to stay a couple of days. Right now, our rate is lower, our tax is lower than surrounding communities, and I'd like to try to preserve that. Could we maybe discuss this a little further? Could we table it?
I think it's been before. I held it over to get more information. I went looking. My only comments in regards to it, a little opposite of Alderman May, but I know where she's coming from. I don't want, when I increase my tax revenue somewhere, I don't want to say it's going to go right here, or it has to go right here. If we can, yes. But our economic conditions may be such that we have to take the revenues that we have and put them where we can use them to the best advantage. So therefore, the ordinance really wasn't tied to necessarily an economic development. But that's what we would like to do with it, if we're possible.
Can I make one more comment? I believe the ordinance reads already, so we're just increasing the amount of the tax we're collecting, but the ordinance already reads that 25% of it, of the revenues collected under hotel, motel, sales tax is directed, I'm getting the nod, is directed to economic development efforts. It's already written that way as it exists now.
But
Mayor Pro Tem, if I could say a word, please.
Alderman Rivera, please.
No, go ahead. Alderman
Alderman
Valco,
Valco, I'm
please.
sorry.
For the Alderman's information, Alderman Beedling, the current tax is 5%. We're low on that end. We only want to raise it to 6%. That's an extra dollar on a $100 a night motel room, and as Alderman May stated, it's not going to impact the citizens of Waukegan at all. It's mostly those people that are coming in for Great America, Great Lakes Naval Base. So if I can hire or put a portion of that tax to hire an economic development individual for this city, I'm all for it.
Alderman Rivera.
And well, as you know, especially in the Ninth Ward, just in Fountain Square alone, I have, three major hotels. Green Bay Road, I have, a few hotels there along 120. My concern and my question is, have we communicated with these hotel owners and motel owners and see what they have to say about this? Because we're going to be raising their rate. And I'm for, adding, an economic development director, but at the same time, I just would like to hear what they had to say, in terms of raising their taxes, seeing that I have, all these hotel businesses in my ward.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to speak on this matter. I think I was one of those, someone opposing or really not truly understand exactly where we're going to be going and what direction. I want to thank Alderman May for clearing up not only this but others. But I too agree with Alderman Rivera, and I'd like to extend those comments to say earmarking these funds will be more, I think, beneficial to the citizens of Waukegan. As we all know, if we take a look at our roads throughout the city of Waukegan, they are in disrepair. It is fine to bring an economic development person on board. However, you cannot sell this city the way it currently states. It would be more beneficial to us to take those funds, put money into our infrastructure, at the same time funding this economic development person, most definitely talking with those hotels and make sure we have a firm agreement as to why we're doing it, what we're going to achieve over the next 3 to 5 years. So I would be more apt to saying yes to an idea such as that, as opposed to just earmarking it for one particular position. Now, if we, and I guess the challenge would be to Mayor-elect Motley, I'm hoping that you and your staff will sit down and speak with our Public Works Director, with the person who might have potentially in mind for this, and give us a comprehensive plans of where these additional funds, and I say earmark because I can remember last time, as often said by Alderman Tempest, a history lesson. We increased the sales tax for the downtown and lakefront for a person to come and do the same exact thing. Because we did not earmark those funds, then those funds went into the general fund. And you know when they go into the general fund, they're just money for people to do what they need. I believe that if we earmark them, put them in where we're going to specifically say they're going to go, from infrastructure to economic development, that's a better and easier sell. I shouldn't say the word sell, but an easier presentation to our hotel and to the new person who's coming in to try to go out and bring in business to the city of Waukegan. Those are my comments. I don't know if we're going to hold this matter or table this matter, but I'm hoping, and I challenge our new leader to make sure that these kind of things happen. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I believe our Ann Lynn, who's worked on this ordinance, would like to speak. Ann?
Just for clarification, the language of the ordinance that's before you states, as had previously existed in this ordinance, 25% is appropriated for promotion of business and economic development, and the remainder, 75%, would go into the general fund.
Okay.
That's what the ordinance states.
And if it's a new source of revenue, that 25% could still be up if at the discretion of the council.
And again, it's going into the general fund.
I understand.
And once it goes there, believe me, it's not coming out.
And sometimes you got to pay the bills. I see we've got 25% there, and they can raise it. I think it'll be reviewed occasionally, see where our needs are.
I'll make sure it's spent on.
But I'm sure the mayor-elect is committed to getting the town going economically. I think we are, but I think we do have 25%. If we pass this, we need to pass it tonight to get the motel tax, the 1% we're getting going, the season starting soon. And I would recommend that we go ahead and pass it, and we can discuss this in finance meeting or so forth. Alderman Mosley.
We can always change the allocation of where we want to put it at any time.
Right.
We find out we need a little bit more here, just change it. Just say we're going to take whatever. We can change it. Let's just vote it and get it on the books and move
Correct.
on, and if we need to change it, we'll change it.
Right.
Not a big deal.
Would you go with 30%?
Mayor Pro Tem.
25 to 30,
Mayor,
Mary, I'm
we're-
negotiating, huh?
Mayor Pro Tem, I know when we were talking about people talking to people, I had spoken to a couple of people in the hotel business, and I believe Tina has, and I know Russ has for sure. Russ, could you say a couple of words if there's any backlash
Please,
on this at all?
Russ Tomlin.
The idea was actually brought to us by a hotel owner and hotel managers. So we haven't spoken to all of them. We've spoken to many of them, and it's something that they embrace, provided a portion of it is spent on economic development.
And I think the ordinance says that. Okay, I'm going to call for the,
One more question.
Go ahead.
One more comment. I know we've done this in the past. We can do this now and put a timetable so it comes back to us again to continue it or eliminate. I like that idea, At least it brings it back to this council to have some input in making sure we continue to earmark those in the direction we think we need to go in. For example, this time next year, the ordinance will read, it expires this time next year, then we come back and review it again. Is that open for discussion?
Would anybody like to speak to that?
You want a sunset?
What do you want, a
Any alderman like to
and
speak
as a
to that?
sunset
That's what it's called, a sunset clause?
Sunset clause, Ann?
Yes. You have, Alderman Cunningham is correct, you have inserted sunset clauses in other ordinances, fee ordinances and the like. A couple of years ago, you did do that. It's certainly possible to add to this tonight if you wish to do it.
I so move.
If it gets it passed, I'll second it.
What's that now? Sam, would you repeat your motion, please? Your amendment?
It's just to add a sunset clause. And Ann, maybe you can give us the
12
legal.
month. 12
I
month
will.
sunset
All right.
clause, Ann?
For 1 year,
That's fine.
Alderman?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
And if it's for the new mayor, we can make it 2 years.
Make it.
Good. Put that down, 2 years. 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years, I mean, it's fine. I mean, the
Okay.
goal was to bring it back to.
Okay,
All right, so we would add, the motion would be to add a sentence that the hotel motel 6%, 1% increase to 6% would be in effect until May 1, I guess would be the best date, probably, 2015.
Sure.
Okay, I will add that language if the motion passes.
For a revisit.
okay, let's,
It's a motion to amend.
Yeah.
Motion
we
to
have a
amend
motion
first.
to amend by Alderman Cunningham,
Alderman?
second by Alderman Mozio, to put the sunset clause in there.
2 years.
Sunset, let me finish the motion, I got it in my
That's
mind.
fine, but I have
A
one more
sunset
question.
motion to 2 years to May 1st, 2015, at which time it will be reviewed by the city council. Alderman Rivera, question.
Well, my concern is, you know, the larger hotels are the ones that benefit from, you know, the traffic going down 41, 294, the outside visitors. They're the ones that are gonna, you know, get, you know, that clientele. What my concern is the smaller businesses, the little small motel owners, where a lot of those motels are frequented by our own residents. You know, and that's what I'm concerned about, is the small, little motels, you know, how it's gonna affect their business. I know we probably heard from larger, you know, corporations like the Holiday Inn Express and, you know, of course, you know, but my concern are the smaller hotels, you know, or smaller motels. What did they say about this?
We talked to hotels as small as the Holiday Inn Express, which is, you know, I guess, on the smaller end of things. I'm not sure which hotels in particular you think would take more of a hit, but
Well,
all
the
of them.
Bell, for example, the one on 120.
I think they all have an opportunity to benefit from an investment in economic development. And if we can create the position and invest in ourselves and create the jobs, it's going to benefit every hotel in Waukegan. And it's going to benefit all of us.
Russ?
Alderman, Tina has asked me to, if you would make the motion until April 30th of 2015, because that's the end of the fiscal year. So, for clarification.
Okay,
Whatever gets it passed.
Vote on the motion.
Okay, again, for the public, your aldermen, they go through things very, this is a typical council meeting. You're seeing everything this evening.
Call for the question.
Sam, you and Mosey, if you would amend that motion to
We did.
make
Call for
it
the question.
April 30th for 2015.
Yes.
Okay, so we
April
won't have to vote
15th,
on that.
was it?
Okay,
Ann,
now
did you-
we're voting
May
on
fif-
On
May
the
15th.
amendment.
we're voting on the amendment,
Yes.
amendment to the hotel motel
Okay, what it
tax
is.
of 1% increase
All right.
with a 25%,
April
going back to such and such, and
Right.
the
You're
amendment.
only voting on the amendment to sunset
Right.
this
That's
April
right.
30th,
That's-
yes.
So we're now voting on the amendment. Will you call the roll, please?
Alderman Moiseo.
Yes.
Alderman Beedling.
No.
Alderman Newsom. Alderman Tempest.
I'll vote aye.
Alderman May. Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
I'm gonna vote no.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
What's the vote? I wasn't counting. Motion,
Two no.
amendment
Two
passed?
no. Passed.
Okay, motion, I know, now we're voting on the motion as amended.
So move.
Second.
Motion is amended. Want to call the roll?
Alderman
As
Moiseo.
amended.
Yes.
Alderman Beedling.
No.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
No.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken. Passed.
Motion passed. What we did this evening, the motel tax will go in effect as of May 1st and for 2 years. April 30th, 2015, it'll be up to take a look at it because we have the sunset clause on it, which will be brought back to us. Ann, you want to comment on that?
I'm sorry, Alderman, I think you said May 1, it's actually...
April.
April 30th.
April 30th.
Right.
I did say-
The ordinance previously, a couple of weeks ago, Tina had given you a new ordinance amended to go into effect July 1st of 2013. So in another 2 months almost. That will give us time to coordinate with the hotel motel owners. So this ordinance that you passed and was in your packets. As amended, goes into effect July 1st of 2013.
Okay.
Not May 1. Originally, last month, it was May 1. Now it's July 1st.
Everybody agrees to that? Yes.
Yeah.
I hope so, because that's what you passed.
Okay. That's why we got you here, Ann.
Motion to reconsider?
We got reports and communications. I'd like to have a motion. We're not going to take a recess for 10 minutes.
No.
I'd like to make a motion to delete.
No recess.
We don't
No, I
need to
know. We're going to delete item B on recess for 10 minutes. So I'll take a motion by Alderman Cunningham, second by Alderman Newsom, to delete item B on reports and communication, recess for 10 minutes. All those in favor, say
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay, Judge Bridges, where are you? Where's my judge? Speak in the mic. Thank you.
Let's go, Chief.
Yeah, and he's going to swear in Clerk Artist Yancey. Is Artist here?
He's right here.
There's my artist.
Well, artists, you've come a long way. I had the privilege of hiring this young man as a police officer when I was chief of police in 80, well, I don't want to go there. I watched this young man rise through the ranks and ultimately became the chief of police for this great city. And now it is indeed my pleasure to take this cop to the next level, get him out into politics. Now he will be sworn in as the city clerk. So this is indeed an honor, and who's going to hold the Bible for you? They both are. Okay. There you go. All right. And where do you want to make? We have this. The world needs to see this. Because we're gonna, yeah, right there like that. And what I want you to do, over here, so you got to put his right hand up. They can't see you. We're going to get this right. They can see you. They can see this man. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Ernest Yancey.
I, Ernest Yancey,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of
the
office of City Clerk
office of City Clerk
for the City of Waukegan
for the City of Waukegan
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God. I'd like to take a moment. Everyone here to me is a VIP, so there aren't any VIPs, but there are some special folks in my life that I want to thank for being here. My daughter DeLacy, my daughter Delaney. Mr. Audrey Nancy. In the world, Mr. Mike Jones. Campaign team that consisted of Eleanor Murphy as my campaign manager. My professor from undergrad joined in and helped, was Dr. Randy Waukegan. Brown and Ron Bergman, and probably over 5,000 calls between them, phone calls to you guys, help to get elected. My extended family, Hank and Beverly McDowell.
Yeah.
Doctor. Miss Norma Rickster, my other friend, a very special friend that I've known for a long time, Mr. Carlos Sanchez. From the clergy, the faith-based community here, that they were so warm and so welcoming to us when the mayor and I walked into their churches, campaigned in their churches, worshiped in their churches. It was just such an honor. Pastor Jordan.
Yeah.
Church of Christ, and especially in Jesus' name, Dr. Chenier, thank you for coming. I'd also like to thank my extended Waukegan police family. I love you all.
Before Artis swears in Treasurer John Swab, I would like to, we have former Mayor Bill Durkin in the back. Bill, will you stand up? Bill Durkin? Can you stand up, Bill? Former Mayor Hyde. Dick? I see one of my favorite ex-aldermen, Bobby Evans. Is Bobby here somewhere? I saw him earlier. And with that little introduction, we'll proceed with Clerk Yancey now swearing in Treasurer John Swab.
Before I start, there are two people that I missed that are very important. Pastor Harry and Pastor Deborah Stackhouse. I state your name. I, John Schwab, do solemnly swear or affirm, most solemnly swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, and I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of treasurer, and I'll faithfully discharge the duties of the office of treasurer for the city of Waukegan to the best of my ability. For the city of Waukegan to the best of my ability. I'll introduce my wife Susan. Next door is my daughter Beth Schwab, Roger Schwab, my daughter-in-law Sandy Schwab, my son-in-law, Gary Joy, Lexi Joy, my granddaughter, Cindy Joy, whatever, and my campaign manager, Bill Sullivan, who keeps me focused and directed all the time. Many of the other people here in the audience are helping get elected. I really want to thank the voters for showing their appreciation of the hard work that I've done and the confidence that I will continue to work for the city of Waukegan. Thank you.
With that, we'll have Judge Bridges swear in Mayor-elect Motley. Hold on your breath, it'll just be a few minutes.
This is truly an understatement. Wayne Motley and I came on the police department at the same time, and as you heard him say, he's a cop's cop. He's always there. When we needed backup, we could always count on Wayne. One of the other things that most of you don't know is that, in the field of law enforcement, not everybody probably should be involved. And Wayne recognized that right off the bat. Because in the academy, this is how far back we go. In the police academy, there was a situation where an officer from, I won't talk about the department, called another officer out of his name based on his ethnicity. And it was Wayne, not the other officer, who had to step up to the plate. He's always been there. As I rose through the ranks, and having Wayne work for me and seeing this man bloom throughout those career. He ran task force for us on the police department. One of our first drug, gang, and alcohol task force was under his leadership, and he's always, like I said, been a cop's cop. And that's going to be a problem probably for some people in Waukegan. He is going to be our mayor today. You better look out. Don't think you can get away with anything. But Wayne and I go way back, and this is indeed an honor for me to be here, to be able to swear in this great man and have his beautiful family here and all of the people here supporting him. Wayne, we expect nothing but the best, and we know that you will live up to that. Because as I said, as a police officer, if that's any indication of what he's going to be as a mayor, look out. There's great things going to bloom and blossom for this great city. So, Wayne.
Before we start, I'd like to introduce my lovely wife, Carol.
This is my opportunity. As a judge, I get to do that. As one of our great founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin, once said, "We have been assured, sir, in the sacred writings that except the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain that build it." And so it is my charge to you, Wayne, to be like oil and water, the cream and the milk, and that's to rise to the top on every occasion, and to build this great city, to be a continued fine city for all of us, to do the right thing for all the citizens of Waukegan. Wayne has the family Bible here. He wanted to do this with his family Bible, and it's indeed an honor. We don't have the Bible in a lot of our sessions, so I thank you for that. I, Wayne Motley,
I, Wayne Motley,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
and affirm that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of
the duties of the office of
Mayor
Mayor
for the City of Waukegan
for the City of Waukegan
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability. So help me God. If you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go to the podium so everyone can hear when I speak and announce my family. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to break precedents. I will now entertain a motion for a prayer by Bishop Colburn.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you. We thank you that we have the good sense today to start out with a prayer. We thank you, God, because it has been said, without you, we can do nothing. We pray for the mayor. We pray for his family. We pray for these aldermen. We pray for the citizens of Waukegan, that we might have a great city that was intended. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed an honor. I am very humbled by this opportunity, and there's a lot of people I need to thank. I'd like to thank my wife, Carol. Excuse me, I'm not going to cry. My daughter, Ashley, my sister, Brenda, my granddaughter, Alyssa, my daughter, Karen. I can't forget Joanne Rivera. She's my sweetheart. Miss Valco, Liz, my sister Diane, my brother-in-law Don, my niece Bonnie Sky, my good friend and mentor Pastor Jordan, my son-in-law Brian Latz, my nieces Mary and Margie, my sister Mickey, I'm sorry Mick, a lot of them, Marcella and Michael Paulson. Some of my best friends for life, Scotty Burleson, Joe Rakovich, Michael Donenworth. A lot of people worked diligently for this campaign. You have no idea how difficult this was for all of us. We worked hard, we worked diligently, we made a commitment. Our commitment was to play fair, play by the rules, and do what's only in the best interest of our community. We succeeded with that. We are very proud to be seated before you today. We humbly accept your gracious votes. It is indeed an honor and privilege to serve in the same capacity as Mayor Durkin and Mayor Hyde once did. Who would have imagined a young kid from West Virginia? Who could imagine that? I made a promise, and I keep my promises. I made this promise to a man who I came to respect and admire. It was my real honor to attend several churches over the last 8 months. Greater Faith was one. Gideon was another. Several churches we attended, Miss Atwater's church, the Atwater Church. During that experience, I learned that Waukegan is in fact not only a good community, Waukegan is a great community. And I can tell you this, the lessons I learned in those churches will stay with me for at least this next 4 years. Like it or not, accept it or not, God is coming back to this council.
Thank you.
Harry Stackhouse, I'm sorry, I didn't forget you, Harry. People, I'm going to read this scripture as a commitment I made to Pastor Jordan. He read it much more eloquently than I did, but I will read this verse. It's Proverbs 3, chapter 5 through 6. Trust not in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not into thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. He not wise in thine own eyes, fear the Lord, and depart from evil. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the man who believes this wholeheartedly. Thank you.
Mayor, that deserves a hallelujah, my man.
For those of you, I don't want any misunderstanding. Mayor Sabanjan is my friend. Mayor Sabanjan is a good, honest, and just man. It was my privilege to serve with him for 4 years. The people of this community decided that I was to be the next leader of this community, but I will never forget the many kindnesses he showed me, the guidance he led me through some difficult times, and I will say to you, that man is the man that got us out of debt. And I thank him very much for that. It is my responsibility as mayor to create an environment in the city which encourages our employees to want to come to work. We have lost that enthusiasm in this city. It will come back. I can assure you that I have the common sense, the conviction, and courage to make difficult decisions. I will walk over, around, or through anyone who attempts to hinder development in our community. I had a meeting last week with Governor Quinn, I'm sorry. That certainly does date me, doesn't it? During those discussions, I took it upon myself, the day after I was elected mayor, I took it upon myself to take the position of mayor. I went down to Springfield, I met with the governor, I discussed 5 issues. I discussed the moving of the railroad tracks, the CNN railroad tracks. I discussed the water plant redevelopment. I discussed the lakefront and the harbor redevelopment. I discussed road repaving. I discussed the casino, and I discussed an issue that is near and dear to my heart. I have been retired from the Waukegan Police Department for 12 years. I will die a Waukegan police officer. I will not let my brothers down. I will hire at least 4 police officers immediately. Those of you who heard the issue about Ms. Figueroa, it is not a personal vendetta with me. It was a business decision. Those of you who have had the opportunity or never had the opportunity to know what it's like to be on the street at 2 o'clock in the morning, going through back alleys, dealing with the most desperate of people, and to call for help and not know if it's going to get there because we're short on that shift. That will never happen under my administration. Governor Quinn made a commitment to come here next in June, and we will discuss the opportunities he's going to present to us. He promised me that he will repave roads in Waukegan. He promised me that he will help us in the harbor cleanup, and he promised me that he will help me hire police officers. And believe it or not, he is in support for the casino in Waukegan. During my campaign, a lot of people asked several questions. One of the questions was, isn't it difficult to be the mayor? And my response was, what's difficult is holding someone in your arms when they die. That's what's difficult. Being a mayor, that's nothing. I can do this job with my eyes closed. I can tell you, I am probably the most blessed man that any of you will ever see. I lived a life that most of you can only imagine. As a child, I wanted to be a policeman. I lived my whole life to be a policeman, and I did become that policeman. And somewhere along the line, God took me in a different direction. He took me to the clerk's office first, taught me how to do my job, taught me how to be the man I am, taught me how to respect and admire people for their goodness and their qualities. I've become a much better man. We have a lot to do in Waukegan. It's not going to be an easy task. I have 9 people here that I consider to be my friends. I cannot do this job by myself. I will not try to do it by myself. I have the support of many good men and women, and I can tell you without hesitation, you may be getting a knock on your door or a phone call asking you to come help me, because I'm not too proud to ask someone for help. The churches will become an integral part of what I am and what I will be and what the city will become. I will utilize their goodness. I will utilize the churches to get the message out to their parishioners and their congregation. Collectively, Waukegan has a very, very bright future. And I will say this to my brother police officers: you will never have a better friend than me. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to continue on with the business at hand. The motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman Cunningham, to accept the payroll dated April 19, 2013 in the amount of $1,345,381.79. Roll call.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Approval of the bills dated May 6, 2013 in the amount of $1,460,223.32. Motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman Valco. Roll call.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye. I sat down and made committee appointments. I made the appointments based on who I thought could best serve the needs of the community and my needs in general. The Finance Committee, I will appoint Alderman Valco as the chair. The co-chair will be Alderman Newsom. That committee will be Alderman Moiseo, Alderman Beedling, and Alderman May. The Judiciary Committee will be Alderman Rivera as the chair, the co-chair Alderman Valco. Those on that committee will be Alderman Tempest, Alderman Newsom, Alderman Moiseo. Public Safety Committee, the chair will be Alderman Conken, co-chair Alderman Beedling. On that committee will be Alderman Cunningham, Alderman Newsom, Alderman Tempest. Public Works Committee will be Alderman Moiseo as the chair, Alderman Tempest as the co-chair. On that committee will be Alderman Conken, Alderman Cunningham, and Alderman Valco. Economic Development Committee will be Alderman Tempest as the chair. The co-chair will be Alderman Newsom. On that committee will be Alderman May, Alderman Conken, Alderman Rivera. Labor Relations, the chairman will be myself. My name is Wayne Motley. My co-chair will be my good friend and veteran and trusted mentor, Larry Tempest. On that committee will be Alderman Rivera, Alderman Valco, Alderman Moiseo. The Insurance Committee will be, chairman will be Alderman Cunningham, co-chair Alderman Beedling. On that committee will be Alderman Conken, Alderman Rivera, and Alderman May. A motion to accept the appointments by Alderman Conken, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye. At this time, I'd like to swear in the new police chief. This man is a friend of mine. He worked with me for many, many years. We were on the SWAT team together. He covered my back more than once. He is a gentleman. It is my honor to introduce to you the new chief of police for the city of Waukegan, Robert Krikorian. Robert, I, Robert Krikorian, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, and I will support the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and I faithfully discharge the duties of Chief of Police for the City of Waukegan, to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, council. It's a great honor. I've been a policeman for 25 years, been pretty much everywhere in the police department. I've had a lot of great mentors. I'd like to start out thanking my wife, Patty Krikorian. My son, Jake, is here. My sons are in college, hopefully studying for the finals. I see a lot of people here that I've come through the ranks with, Joe Rakovich, Scott Perlson, all kinds of policemen, a lot of city fathers that I've worked with throughout the years. It's a great honor. I'm going to do my very best. It's a great department, and we've had some tough times, and we're going to move forward. And I really appreciate the opportunity to serve. Thank you very much.
Listen, I have to tell you, I have to apologize to all, because you know what? I have to have a motion to get him elected first. I take a motion by Alderman Cunningham, second by Alderman Tempest, to approve the appointment of Robert Krikorian as the Chief of Police for the City of Waukegan. Roll call.
I'd like to comment.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I'd like to comment, Your Honor. I think the present chief of police has done a good job over the years. And I'm real concerned about the economic impact. I know in the past we made some assistant chief. They go to chief and the other guy comes assistant chief and they work together. And I would hope that you'd work out some type of economic arrangement that would be beneficial for the city of Waukegan and also for the new chief coming in and the old chief going out, that you'd be able to continue to work with the city of Waukegan until he gets a number of years that he really needs to move on. Sometimes when you're a chief of police and you're let go, you have to go back to the rank of lieutenant. Sometimes you got to get your 20-some years in that you want, and sometimes you have to, as I told Rakovich and I told other members that are going to retire, you don't retire until you have a job to go to. So you need time to job hunt and look for your career to go further. So therefore, I hope we could talk about this in executive meeting. I'm going to ask for executive meeting at the end of the meeting. I won't be coming back, and there's a few things I think we should discuss as a council. So thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
And I understand you made a campaign. Yeah, I understand.
I'd like to make 2 more appointments.
We got to vote on that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Roll call.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
I'm very happy to vote aye. I've known this gentleman for many, many years. I've seen him in action, and I think you're making a fine choice.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
I'd like to vote aye also with the same spirits that Alderman Tempest has talked about. So my vote is aye, and I'll be looking forward to that meeting.
Alderman Conkin.
I was going to vote no just because we did it out of order, but I'm going to vote aye.
Present.
I'd like to make 2 more appointments. The appointment of the Director of Public Works, Tom Haggerty. Are you here, Tom? And the appointment of Ezell Robbins, or CDBG Director. Both are here. I entertain a motion by Alderman Valco, seconded by Alderman Rivera, to accept the appointments. Roll call, please.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye, and it's also good to see that we have our CDB Director back in that role as leadership. Thank you.
Alderman Conkin.
Aye.
Carries.
Item G, amend the city salary ordinance 12-0-35 and authorize a severance package as presented. What this is I made some appointments, and I'd like to make some appointments in the salary ordinance. Before I can do that, it has to go through council and be passed. The severance packages are for those people who lost their jobs, and we're offering them a severance package. So I would entertain a motion by Alderman Newsome, seconded by Alderman Moiseo. Roll call.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome. I'm sorry, Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
No.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
I'm going to vote no, but before, I want to make a comment on this. I've worked with, especially as an Hispanic, the only Hispanic alderman up here. And I'm quite sure the Hispanic community would like to hear what I have to say in regards to the community liaison. I've had the pleasure of working with Susanna for many, many years. And we've always used to work, just especially during the earlier years of my, of being an alderman. And he's always asking me for advice, and, and me the same with her. So it was, very difficult when she did run for office. And my wife and I, we were vacationing when we got back, and I was very surprised that she was running for office. And one of the questions that I had asked her is, why didn't she ask me, before she even ran? It's unfortunate that, the circumstances and what happened, and, it was just, I wish she would have spoken to me in regards to her running. But again, it was a wonderful experience working with her. I wish her the best of luck. Now the city, and as far as, and I think we didn't add that, Mayor, that in every department, we have Hispanic leadership there. That can address, the issues that come up with Hispanic businesses, with Hispanic constituents. We do have the personnel already there to assist anytime we need to help our Hispanic friends. So, Mayor, I understand it is a business decision, but I hope you understand and respect me for why, and I understand why you're doing this. But I've known Susanna for a long time, especially during the tough times that I had as a public safety chairman in my rookie season. And believe me, it was a pleasure having that relationship with her. So I vote no. The rest of it, the salary ordinance, I vote yes.
Alderman Cunningham.
Corporation Counsel, just to clear up, is it possible?
Sam, he's not counsel until this passes.
Well, he's acting.
No, he's not. He's not here until it's done.
We got a lawyer in the house?
You can't say, it's the package that we have, correct? You can't separate. My vote is no.
Alderman Conken.
Pass 6-3. There are no ordinance or resolutions. Alderman's time. Mr. Clerk?
Alderman Moiseo.
Excuse me 1 minute. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, my mind is somewhere out there. The ordinance that was just passed allowed the city to hire a corporation counsel. That corporation counsel started on the police department with me in 1975 and has been with me ever since. He's an attorney now. His name is Steve Martin, our new corporation counsel.
All right.
Well, before we get started, let me tell you some of the things that we've done here. Steve and I have been together for many, many years. I respect him. He is a quality man. He is a man of character and conviction. We sat down and we discussed how we're going to do this. Steve Martin, attorney, is now Steve Martin, employee of the city of Waukegan. I hired him. Our last attorney charged us close to $300,000 a year. Steve Martin will be our corporation counsel in-house every day for $150,000. I don't know how many of you understand what a huge, huge deal this is. I told Steve Martin that I was committed to hiring police officers. Committed. nothing would stop me from hiring more police officers. He said, I can help. Pay me $150,000 and we'll call it even. That is a man with a lot of class, ladies and gentlemen. I introduce to you Mr. Steve Martin.
Well, first of all, they've got a vote on me up here, these ladies and gentlemen. But I'd like to say, Wayne and I raised our right hand on January 13th, 1975, became police officers, went to academy together, rode squad together. We've been friends ever since. I was a city attorney prosecutor here from 1985 to 1993. This is my third time working with the city. I've never really left the city, and Wayne and I both agree. Once a police officer for the city of Waukegan, always a police officer for the city of Waukegan. Somebody asked me, did I enjoy that job? It's never left me. And I don't think any police officer that was a police officer ever changes their heart. I want to thank Wayne, Mayor Motley. I got to get used to the name Mayor Motley. I want to thank him for the opportunity and the trust he's placed in me to be his corporate counsel. I thoroughly appreciate what he has vested in me, and I hope that I get the approval of the council. And I wanted to say to the council, I know most of you as friends, and we've known each other a long time. I look forward to working with each and every one of you. I trust I will do the job that you are going to have me here to do. I want to thank the citizens of Waukegan for the opportunity to serve you for the third time. And I think it's a wonderful thing to begin my career in a Waukegan police officer uniform and to finish sitting up here with Mayor Motley. Thank you very much.
Another thing that we are committed to doing, our attorneys will be all Waukegan attorneys. Period. That being said, I would entertain a motion by Alderman Tempest, second by Alderman Cunningham, to approve my appointment of Steve Martin as the Corporation Counsel.
So move.
Roll call.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
I'd like to explain my vote. I should withdraw and not vote because I know him so well. I remember when he was in an apartment on Franklin Street over by North School. His dear wife Betty, who I always flirt with, but I'm old enough I can get away with it. And what a lovely family. I taught both their kids to drive. I watched Steve as a policeman. I watched him come up as an attorney. I watched his daughter become an attorney. I thought Betty should have been one too. She's smarter than Steve, actually. But she's there to help him. She's a great wife, a great supporter of his. He used to live in my ward, by the way, on Hickory Street, but he moved out on me. But he stayed in Waukegan. It's just a great to know that we have somebody of Steve's integrity, honesty, and a good Christian man to be in that position. And I like the way Mayor Motley has brought prayer back to our meetings. We had 3 aldermen that had it when we ran the meetings, Edie, Sam, and myself. Prior mayor rather had a moment of silence. Well, I'd just soon offend somebody and have a prayer. I'm sorry, that's what the nation was founded on. And I wholeheartedly endorse your appointment. It's a great appointment. I'm looking forward to work with Steve and Mayor. What a great appointment this is. What a great appointment. Thank you so much. I vote aye.
Alderman May.
I'm also very excited to be working with you again, Steve. Aye.
Alderman Valco.
I had 2 citizens come up to me last week. It's a true story. 2 citizens come up to me last week, and they said, I went down to pay a bill down at City Hall. And you know what? He said, people are smiling again down there. And you know what, folks? There's a new sheriff in town. And I don't mean that because we were all policemen, but I just mean there's a new sheriff in town, if you saw that movie, 48 Hours. I want to commend the mayor, the new clerk, and I'm going to keep this short because I know we got things to do this evening. The new mayor, Mayor Motley, the clerk, the treasurer, Corporation Counsel, Tom Haggerty, for your appointment again. I've had the pleasure of working with you, Ezell Robbins, and Rob Kokorian. I want to thank every one of you. I know you personally, every single one of you. Couldn't be better people for the job, and I'll keep it short, and that's all I have, and I vote aye.
Alderman Rivera.
I vote aye as well, and I'm looking forward to working with Steve. I've had the pleasure of really knowing him during the campaign, and his lovely wife. They're just wonderful people. We have a lot in common, so I'm really looking forward to with you, Steve, as well. It sounds like we're doing all of them this time. Maybe we can get it out of the way real quick. I'm definitely looking forward to working with Chief Kokorian. There's some things that I'd like to discuss with you, so I'm looking forward to working with you on that. And Mayor, I commend you with all the other appointments. And I'm glad that Ezell, Tom Haggerty, they're back. I've had a great rapport with both, with Tom and Ezell, and I'm really looking forward to working with everybody. So I vote aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Okay, Steve just told me he's got a news flash here. Go ahead, Steve.
Sometimes I get to talking and my brain disengages. The most important thing in my life is sitting in the row back here. And I want you to understand that because of what I'm doing with the city and what Wayne and I are going to try to work together to do with this council for the city of Waukegan is a result of the support and the love I'm getting from my wife Betty and my partner in my law firm Martin and Menike, Amy. And they're taking a burden on to help me do what I can do for the city of Waukegan. And I want to especially thank my wife of 42 years and my friend and my best friend, Betty. Can you stand, please, Betty? I know she's gonna hate me for this.
Okay, with that, Mr. Clerk, will you please begin Alderman's time?
Alderman Moiseo.
I'd like to congratulate all the people. I always call him Chief Yancey, Clerk Yancey, Dr. Schwab, and of course Wayne. I congratulate you. Tough campaign. Anybody who's been through a campaign knows very, very stressful, especially when you have to go through a primary and then a general campaign. Wayne and I have talked about changing that. The other thing that Wayne and I have talked about is leadership. And I always draw analogies to coaching because that's what my life is. And Wayne, you're the quarterback. And you gotta call the right play and you gotta lead. If you don't, you're not gonna have any blocking. I think he knows that. We've talked about that. And he understands that you can't turn this Titanic without the deckhands. You can't turn this Titanic without communication. And we have talked a lot about that, about communication and working together and knowing what's going on so that we're informed and we can make informed decisions. And I'm looking forward to moving the city of Waukegan forward with Wayne and his staff to get things going and keep them on the right track. Thank you, Wayne.
Alderman Beedling.
I'd like to congratulate everyone. And I take a special interest in the police department. I want to wish our new chief good luck. I hope our patrolmen, I hope we all get along here and do our jobs and try to be an asset to the taxpayers of this community, because the taxpayers are struggling in this community. People are tapped out here, and we have to hold the line somewhere. That's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you.
Alderman Newsom.
Yes, it's been a long night, so I'm going to keep mine real short. I just want to congratulate Mayor Motley and all the appointments. Clerk Yancey, I always want to say Chief, like I used to call him, Chief. Steve Martin, I've known him for quite a few years from the legal field because my husband is an attorney also. Chief Krikorian. Look forward to working with you. And also our appointments for Public Works and CDBG. Congratulations. And also our treasurer. Congratulations. That's all I have.
Alderman Tempest.
Well, I'm kind of happy to see Motley mayor. It means I've served under another mayor in my lifetime. I've been through quite a few. Started with Sabanjan 1, went to Morris, went to Durkin, went to Drew, went to Paravonian, Sabanjan 2, Hyde. Did I mention my buddy Hyde? Wow. And I've got along most of them pretty well. Most of them, all of them except for one, but he's gone, so got no problem there anymore. The present mayor was kind enough to give me an appointment to committees. The prior mayor overlooked the senior alderman of 34 years at that time, didn't give him one committee chairmanship. Motley's a lot smarter than that. He made me a chairman and a co-chairman. He's going to do just fine. And then he appointed my dear friend, and of course his dear wife Betty to help him. What a great start. What a great start. And I look forward to working with the aldermen together. And as most of you witnessed tonight, we do discuss things. Nobody owns anybody here. We all have our views, and we listen to each other and try to come up with the best decision for Waukegan. And I'm sure Mayor Motley is going to really push that and go forward. We have a lot of problems facing our community, but if we stick together and work together, we're going to get through them all, and we're going to bring the city back to the all-American status that we should be. Thank you, Your Honor.
Alderman May.
Thank you. I was really impressed during the campaign that Mayor Sabanjan and Mayor Motley were so civil, and it was a clean campaign, and I congratulate both of you on that. I do want to say a public thank you to Mayor Sabanjan. He did do accomplish some good things here in the city in the last 4 years, and I thank him for that. And I'd like to congratulate Mayor Motley. Look forward to working with you, and to our new clerk and our treasurer and all the appointees tonight. Thank you.
Alderman Valco.
I previously said what I had to say. The only thing I would like to add, Mr. Mayor, I haven't seen an attendance at a city council before I was voted in or since. This is amazing. And when I'm going to tell you, we've got our work cut out for us, and these people believe in you and believe in everybody here. So we're going to have to roll up our shirt sleeves, and we're going to have to get started and show them what we can do. That's all I have.
Amen.
Alderman Rivera.
Thank you. I'd also like to congratulate our city clerk, Artis Yancey. You know, we've been going back a few years, and I'm looking really forward to working with Artis Yancey as well, and Dr. Schwab. I've known him for quite a while. Our families have known each other for years, so congratulations as well, Dr. Schwab. And for those of you that are basketball fans, Bulls 93, Miami 86. It says the end of the fourth quarter, so it's a final. It's a final. It says the end of the fourth quarter, so thank you.
Alderman Cunningham.
That's it? Better go, Sam. We got to see a game.
It's over with.
I too would like to commend the new leadership team that we have, and commend the mayor and his wisdom and forward thinking of continuing some of our good leadership, and from our department heads to our new chief of police. Obviously, you've been around, you understand some of the things and the obligation that this city requires. We look forward to work with you in the near future and the rest of your leadership team. One thing I do want to remind not only the mayor and his entire staff, I heard the word, they live in Waukegan. I have been talking about the hiring practices for our city. And as I grew up as a little boy, to see our policemen, our firemen, our public works, our city administrators all be residents of this city. Okay. Somehow, that has kind of went by the wayside. For whatever reason, it is. But for us to be successful over the next 5, 10, or 15 years, we have to understand that we do have a budget worth right around $100 million. For those who don't know, you should know, most of your budgets consist of salaries and benefits. Now, if you tip 75% of your employees that do not reside in your city, that's $75 million. Unless you can replace that with economic development and other things that we're going to be working on with our new leadership team, that's a tough pill to swallow. I heard over the last 4 years that we have to find quality personnel. They have to be professional. If you take a look at our leadership team, from the mayor to the corporation council to the new clerk to our even existing treasurer, Waukegan Knights, I can't find any more professional, more quality, more dedicated, more committed to this community than what we have right here. In talking to the mayor-elect, the mayor, one of the biggest things he said to me, Sam, I hear you. I understand. Things are going to change when it comes to that. So I'm going to be working with you and challenging you to that, but more importantly, to our department heads. It's okay to hire the Greg Smiths, the Artis Yancey, the Wayne Motley, the Steve Martin, to be a part of our police department, fire department, public works. It's okay to go out and reach to some of our high school kids who are not going to college, can come back and work for this city, give that commitment. Those are the things that I'm looking to work with, because that's what I came up on. I truly believe that can happen. Mr. Mayor, you and your team, congratulations. We look forward to working with you in the near future. God bless.
Alderman Conken.
Thank you. Congratulations to the mayor, to all the people that won their election. Clerk Yancey, I will keep wanting to call him Chief Yancey. It's Clerk Yancey now. Dr. Schwab, congratulations as treasurer, and to all the appointments, congratulations. But I just want to make sure that I get this straight. If I'm not mistaken, we now have a cop for the mayor, a cop for the clerk. They were sworn in by a cop that became a judge, supported by a cop that's an alderman, advised by a cop that's now corporation counsel, who appointed a new cop as police chief. This is going to be one of the safest cities in the country. That's the end of my comments. Motion to adjourn.
All's in favor? Aye. By the way, folks, there's going to be a celebration of myself and my running mates, Art and Dr. Schwab, at Greentown. So please come down. You're all welcome.
Let me decode that. That means it's free.